What's happening, people? I'm Dylan, this is Molly, and you're watching the What's Happening Podcast.
What's happening, Dylan?
How are we? Did you have a good Christmas, Mol?
Wasn't bad, lads. It's all the better for being back in here.
Yeah, that's it.
With yous back there.
First one back after New Year. It's been a while. You and me last one, Mol.
Was I?
Yeah, you and me last one, Mol. I haven't been back since. I got proper ill after it, to be fair.
Did you? What happened to you?
I had bronchitis.
Shut up, lad. Yeah. I only had I had bronchiolitis.
Yeah, that's something I had. Something like that. Like my chest was fucked for about 2 months. My chest has been fucked. But,
can you catch that off people? Because do you remember when I was on here and I was like, hey, yeah, do you know what I mean? Everyone was just saying I had gaff lung, but it was actually bronchiolitis. I reckon I definitely give it to you.
Yeah, I reckon so. That you're to blame for
it,
Mom.
It is. It weren't going out drinking when your body's not used to it and all that. I definitely give it to you, yeah.
But anyway, Mo, so today we're going to be talking about last year. We're going to do a little recap of boxing, the UFC. We're going to go into the card of Francis Ngannou versus Gane, and maybe a little bit of, if you've got time, a little bit of what we want to see in 2022, Mo.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Lad.
So let's start off with 2021. Where should we start off? Boxing or UFC? I think UFC, to be fair.
Yeah, what's it easier for you to YouTube over there? Definitely. we'll go UF first then. We'll go the UF.
I think perfect way to start off is the start of the year. We had Max Holloway versus Calvin Gator.
Oh, right. So, big conversations about them. UFC Boston, I think it was the last time it went there, and this lad's like running around, and I think he's got a nose like, what's it like, Squidward off SpongeBob, right? And he's actually me mate, Calvin's me mate, and he was walking past in Boston, and we ended up speaking to him, and he calls himself the New England Cartel.
Yeah. And
we're really good mates with his coach, and then we was joking, going, well, we're the old England Cartel, you can be the New England Cartel. Anyway, he didn't get to fight because of an injury, so we ended up making a really good friendship with him then. Yeah. And then on Fight Island, we went out on the jet skis with them and everything. And then whenever Rob Font fights, we always look out for them. And no matter where we are in the world, if their fighters are there, we look after them, and they do the same for us. So I've got a lot of respect for him, but it broke. He was kind of like king of Fight Island as well before he had the fight with Holloway. And I think everyone thought he could be the guy to beat him here because his boxing's just... Yeah. Who did he finish with that elbow? Was it Jeremy Stevens?
I think so, yeah.
It was when he jabbed or something, step back, and then instead of like a backhand, he just switched it into an elbow. Sorry. And dropped him. And he came into this, and I'll just never forget this fight because I always remember... Max Holloway was just shouting, wasn't it?
Yeah,
like, I'm the best boxer.
And then it's the one where he's not even looking. He's coaching.
Is he telling his coach or speaking to DC or someone?
I think he's speaking to Joe. And now he's saying, I'm the best boxer in the UFC, baby.
Yeah. It was like, I think there was a bit of criticism about this fight because I do remember they were saying he should have thrown the towel in because he absorbed, Calvin absorbed that much damage. But
so over 800 punches, weren't it, man?
Yeah. And that's hard to come back from that. Like, I understand, and this is his first fight back, so it's nearly a year, and I believe, like, you have to have that, your brain has to have that rest. But Calvin Kattar's the man in the last 10 seconds can still pull off a fight, so he would have probably sacked his team if they would have threw the towel in.
Well, that's what it is. He wouldn't have been happy, would he? Because, as you say, the last 10 seconds, he's still in the fight anymore, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and he's a slow starter. You see him when he fought anyone, he was a slow starter. And I forget how to say his name, but do you remember when he fought in Russia and it went from a 5-round fight to a 3-round fight? And I think he lost the first and second, or like just lost the second, battered him in the third, and you just knew if it was going the fourth.
Yeah, if he was winning the championship rounds.
Yeah, he comes through better. So it's just a bit unfortunate, but it was like, that was literally nearly a Hall of Fame at that one, weren't it?
Yeah. Well, to me personally, well, I think it's an instant classic, to be fair.
100%, yeah. I always remember looking at both their legs thinking, someone throw a leg kick, because they absolutely smashed the calves and stuff. And then Holloway he started throwing kicks, but I just remember watching this last round, just thinking about that nose. And when he took that backhand, it screamed, what was that fight in Robbie Lawler and what's his name when he punched him in the nose?
Is that when he split his lip?
Yeah. What was that fight? What was his name? It's the Canadian man who fights on Bellator now.
I can't even think of his name anymore. But the man you're talking about, because his lip got fucking messed up, didn't it?
Yeah.
But so like then after that we had Dustin Poirier.
So he smashed Conor.
Slapped Conor.
Right, so I remember, I think I was flying 2 weeks after this fight to my fight in Vegas. And I remember I weren't allowed to see anyone after this day because I had to quarantine for 2 weeks. And I remember watching it and I was with someone at the time and they was from Ireland and they went, I'm putting 50 quid on McGregor to get done in the seconds. I went, you're fucking joking. She went, no. Anyway, she's gone to sleep. I'm doing a live podcast watching the fights as it goes. She's woke up, I've gone, oh my fucking God. She's gone, what? When you just won like $2,000 on that. She put a fiver on. Do you know what I mean? And won $2,000. It was unreal of a fight, wasn't it? What's this, warm-ups? What are we looking at here on this YouTube? Yeah, you probably won't be able to get that one.
Yeah, it was like, was it Conor's first fight back from boxing? I'm not too sure
remember.
If it was, well, you could see like clearly the stance and everything completely different, innit?
No, he said after the fight, didn't he, focused more on boxing because he beat Cowboy, do you remember, in like 60 seconds with them shoulder strikes.
Yeah. I've never seen someone like that before, yeah.
He lost to Khabib, came back to Cerrone, and then that was his fight after. And everyone obviously thought his hands are too...
Yeah.
Well, technically, they might look better, and he's had more finishes, more crisp finishes, but ultimately, like, what's his face? Poirier got the job done, didn't he? Yeah, this ground and pound, it was like a 10-8, wasn't it? The first round, was it? What did he get done? It was the second round, wasn't it? I remember him saying, like, he wasn't expecting the takedown. He thought that it was going to stay standing up. And then when he got took down...
He's got mauled like he did against Khabib, didn't he, really?
Yeah, and what Conor should have done is, like, you can see here, there's a difference in the man on the floor now to the man who was on the floor against Chad Mendes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, when that belt was on the line and all that, you can see in his face the panic.
Yeah.
You can see he doesn't want to be there, and you can just see Poirier.
Yeah, he's just not liking the pressure, is he? Let's be honest.
No.
And them elbows, they don't help.
No, Poirier's just got these arms that like drag down by his... I remember watching this though, and even Conor like grabs his shorts and like puts his fingers in,
he
his gloves, like,
he does that a lot, Conor, to be fair.
Yeah, just any way to win. And yeah, they were just some fucking really, really heavy shots, weren't they?
Yeah.
Imagine that ground control's like 2 minutes, 10 seconds, 11
We also
seconds.
had Michael Chandler making his debut on this card as well, didn't we, Mum? Or
Dan Hooker, was it?
Yeah.
Was that Fight Island too?
I think so.
I think that's when they went back to Fight Island. Michael Chandler coming over from Bellator.
He made good impact as well, didn't he, Mum?
Was it that fight, or was it the one after? No, it was the one after when he fought Oliveira, wasn't it? But he's got that Dana White privilege, they said, didn't they?
What do you mean?
They just said that Mike Chandler's got Dana White privilege. He's only had one fight and then gets to do what he wants. But I mean, talk about emphatic fashion of signing over, well, crossing over from one promotion to the other, and I'm sure it was a left hook, wasn't it?
Yeah, he just come forward, doesn't he? That's the thing about him. He just literally doesn't stop, does he?
No,
relentless.
You've got someone like Dan Hooker who's like dangerous anywhere, was on a spree, any fight, anywhere, anytime, absolute belter. And then Mike Chandler's just come in and loves himself a little bit, doesn't he? Loves the look of himself. He's a proper typical Yank, like. And, no, but you know what I mean? Like proper, like, he was definitely in like one of them houses at uni. What are they called?
Yeah, a frat house.
Yeah, I was going to say like sorority, but that's definitely a women's one, isn't it? But he's definitely like, America, yeah. Yeah.
Smashes 2 cans like that. Stone Cold Steve Austin style.
Yeah, so who else stood out for you last year?
Last year, well, I was just going to go on the next one. Like the Frankie Edgar got knocked the fuck out by Sandhagen.
Oh,
and me personally, I think that's knockout of the year.
There was so many knee. Even Lerone Murphy had a knee that was similar, but it's the way he went stiff as a board.
Yeah, that's it. He switched his lights off, didn't it, man?
Absolutely.
He looked like Andy. He just walked into the room.
I know. And I remember it was in the Apex and there was no crowd, so you heard everything. And it was sad because someone like us who would have grown up watching Frankie Edgar and you knew he was literally only like 1 or 2 wins off a world title again.
Yeah.
And you get finished sometimes and you think, oh.
Yeah.
And that was just one of them where you think you need to have a little bit of a break.
Yeah, that's doing damage to you, like long term in it, Mo, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I like Corey's so like when it comes down to somatotypes and body shapes, he is like typically so long and skinny and shouldn't be at that weight. Yeah. And then I feel like I'm like a Frankie Edgar where you just have to force the fight and press. And that was his way to win, but
he loves that flying knee as well.
Sandhagen just knew that was coming. And because Sandhagen's hands are one of the best in the division as well, I think. Do you know what I mean? He's got that southpaw style. I hate the way he wears his shorts. Yeah. Because he has like the slit right up to his arse, doesn't he?
As I say, like I think he's had a very good year. To be fair, obviously him and PAN, they had
that was an unreal fight.
That was up there with like probably the fight of the year up there.
Because he was. We do a lot of. I say we. My coach Ellis bases a lot of our striking philosophies off PTM because he's that effective. Yeah. And he was losing, wasn't he? Like Corey, Corey Sandhagen was pushing it, but then he just shows championship mentality.
And then again, like even in the last like your fight, Mo, the last 30 seconds, they're still going to war. They're still throwing like
because you can still get that one dig, and then that's it. You know, like you've probably just about won the round, or you know how close it is. So it's like who's got the bollocks here to go.
But that's it. Like look, I think it was Yair Rodriguez versus the Korean Zombie, was it?
And he spun round and caught the elbow.
Give a little elbow, and that was like seeing like the last like 3 seconds of the fight.
I watched him fight. I'm sure he fought Jeremy Stevens in Boston. Yeah. And I met him there. And I always thought, I'll always watch you because him and his team sat down with ours. One of the most humble men you'll ever meet.
Who is?
Yair Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And then I watched have you seen his thing on Amazon Prime?
Nah.
The story about him. So he wanted to be Mexico's first world champion. Yeah. And in that fight camp, we'll probably get to it in a minute, where he ended up fighting against Max Holloway. I'm sure 5 of his family died from COVID, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure if you can get
in
that.
His camp?
Like, whilst he was training, or in the whole of COVID, sorry. In the whole of COVID. Yair Rodriguez, so it's Yair, and then Rodriguez. But he hadn't fought for 2 years, and he'd never fought a 5-round fight. And we're like proper going past a lot of the fights in chronological order to get to this story. But he lost so many family members in the camp, fought Max Holloway, and done a 5-round fight and nearly fucking beat him as well. It was like 3-2 to Holloway in rounds. And do you remember seeing his foot where he kept kicking Holloway in the face? He broke his foot.
Yeah, he did.
Do you remember the size of his foot? It was like that, wasn't it?
That was such a good fight, that, you know, Mo.
Yeah.
Honestly,
no, I'm not lying about it. He lost 5 family members due to COVID. And he had it so bad. And he come back, and you would never even expect it. I got COVID in the October and fought in the February just gone. Yeah. And my lungs, I was like, still. So, like, I can't imagine how he managed to do 5 rounds.
So did he have COVID as well? Yeah.
Just before, well, he was supposed to fight, got COVID, and then I'm sure it got pushed back. As you can tell, I do nothing but watch the UFC.
Honestly,
just life, isn't it?
Like, I personally think this year, UFC's literally battered boxing. You know what I mean? For the cards and the fights and everything. Just like this year has been the year where the UFC has dominated boxing, like in my eyes anyway.
100%. I've sat in. Where was we? Where did he speak to us? It was Fight Island, and I remember weighing in against facing off with one of my opponents who beat me, called Talia Santos, and Dana's face was there. And me and each other me and this girl was there, and we staring at each other, and he goes, "That's fucking awesome, fucking awesome, Meatball." And then we go in the back, and you have the famous Dana White speech. So I've seen him saying 7 fights. I've seen him 3 times do his Dana White speech, and he goes, "If you've ever wanted to seize the moment, now's the fucking chance." He's like, as a company, we have moved heaven on earth to make this sport carry on the safest possible way and all this. And he was like, the world's watching, go and put on, go and perform. And like, it was him, wasn't it? Like, Donald Trump had to ring him in as like one of the task force to like, can you keep our economy going? And he just managed to do it. And like, take me hats off to him. And then I feel, what's his name? Eddie Hearn actually rang Dana, and they spoke to each other, and he was like, give him like loads of like a big encyclopedia basically on how to fucking deal with the COVID, and he was like, there you go.
Dana,
well, yeah, like a blueprint on how to make it work.
Because they were exchanging like little business ideas and stuff like that.
So then that's when Eddie Hearn came up with the fight camp. So when you haven't got the UFC's budget, I feel like Matchroom and Eddie Hearn done a really good job on creating the fights that we wanted to see. So I felt like British fighters got to just what's the word? They could just bypass someone who might beat them and go, oh, fuck it, I'll take someone else's shit from another country and get me closer to a world title that way. But it was like, well, no, because you can't fly out and you can't fly in. So now you've got to fight the best in the country. And then you're seeing like some proper upsets, like Terry Harper and Natasha Jonas. Tasha didn't get the decision, but the world seen that she won the fight. Do you know what I mean? We had Katie Taylor again and Natasha Jonas. And I know I'm just saying women, but like props to Tash Jonas. She got like, I think it was like 2, nearly 3 fucking fight of the years. Like every one of her fights could have been fight of the year.
Who's
do you know
Katie
what I mean? No, Natasha Jonas in them. And so I thought the UFC did batter the MMA, but I'm still love boxing a lot, and it was just nice to see no one could run away. Like the judges couldn't just rob everyone, and fighters had to step up to the plate. And I think UFC, this is what Eddie said. Like the UFC's shown that any champ will fight anyone, and no one going, oh no, I'm not fighting them in case I lose. It's like the best will fight the best,
and that's the best.
And that's why. Even the likes of myself got 4 losses on my record. It means fuck all. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
That's it. It's when you get your loss as well, it's probably better. It's half better for you as well because it takes the pressure off as well, doesn't it, Mum?
Oh, I don't know. Like, technically pressure off, but say then this little bastard in here, like you get imposter syndrome and you get all this like, oh, were you even good enough? And you're like, fuck off.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's all about it's a mental battle as well, isn't it, Mum? So talking about first losses, we had Israel getting beat for the first time.
Oh my God, who was it to again? He went up a weight.
I didn't know.
What's his name? He went up to heavy.
Light heavy, didn't he? Light heavy before the
We can't say the name wrong because we're in 2022 now. That's really bad. However, Polish power.
Yeah,
Polish power.
Yeah.
He put a pasting on it. Well, how this is in fight when you have someone who's such a good striker in any division in MMA, how do you beat that? Even against like the likes of myself, the ways in which I've lost is exactly that way. You get put into a position where you can't do anything, it's frustrating, and then you end up giving up the rounds. And he just, what did he do? He absolutely
just took him to the ground.
And Izzy's wrestling defense is one of the best in the UFC. Do you know what I mean? Do you remember when he fought? It wasn't Brunson, or was it Brunson?
He's fought Brunson, yeah.
Yeah, is that his name? Brunson, who beat Darren Till.
Yeah, but Brunson,
yeah. So he fought him, stuffed every takedown, all that.
Because he's one of the best. He's one of the best wrestlers in the whole UFC. Brunson, like.
So like, I made him look stupid. Had him shooting from like 6 foot away. Do you know what I mean?
But this is why Bobby Knuckles said. I think Jan's put the template, the blueprint on how to beat him. Like, but on that night as well, we had another title shot. Jan versus Sterling.
Versus Sterling. Oh, I literally this morning or yesterday seen Sterling's Instagram where he's like, Jan's had to pull out. Yeah. Because he won't get his injections. He won't have his vaccine, so he won't go to. He can't get into America. And I just thought, Aljamain, shut up, lad. Yeah. Just shut up, because you've just you made a pig's ear. Yeah, you made a pig's ear out of how you've won the belt. Yeah. But he's belter, like he's unreal.
Yeah, he's great.
He said some really nice things about me before, but I just think you're just leave Instagram, lads. Yeah. But then he did say, in your defence, Aljamain, he did say, like, I respect his decision to not get them, that's on him. But when are we going to fight? Because I just want to fight. So it's kind of the world will be watching that fight.
Yeah, we're 100%. Yeah, and I think Jan will get his. Will get the yeah, he will. Yeah,
I do.
I just think to myself, don't know, like, why? That's all that goes through my head. I just think to myself, why?
What? Why did he?
Why
do?
knee? Yeah, like why did he knee him? You know what I mean? Well, obviously it's illegal. So that's. He said his coach said they need like knee.
Yeah. So you know, there's certain times, right, you see red and you're so controlled and he's so methodical in what he does, but you could tell he just wanted to hit him and finish him and put him away, and he hasn't meant to do it because you know who dirty fighters are. You know, like, you've only got to watch McGregor's, like, when he's getting ready for a fight. He's wearing, if you watch that fight where he was getting ready for Poirier, the first one when he lost, he was wearing fucking trainees and sparring and booting people in the head, or people have to wear, like, big gloves against him and he's got 4-ounce MMA gloves, like madness. They're kind of, like, naughty, dirty, tactic kind of fighters. He's just, like, respectful, just bows when he gets in and all that kind of thing, do you know what I mean? So,
well, that's it, he doesn't stop going forward, does he?
That's what I mean. So it's just, he'll learn from it. But after that, or last year, there was about, do you remember, in like the space of a month, about 5 disqualifications for knees against the cage. Like, I remember watching Cage Warriors, and Conor Hicknick got kneed in the head, carried on fighting when he should have stopped, and then got absolutely, like, knocked out, and it was horrible for him, the poor lad. And then I remember Darren Stewart, English lad, got the same done against them. Was it a headbutt? That, what's his name? What's the mouth? I forget his name. Everyone got done with headbutts as well, and myself included. So it was like there was just illegal eye pokes. There was just loads of illegal disqualifications.
Well, that's it. We had talking about an eye poke. We had Leon Edwards, who was fighting Mohammed. That was a bad, but it doesn't mean it at all. If you look at, he's going for the kick. He did poke his eye in the first round, I think it was, but then in the second round, he's going to kick him, and his fingers, he's gone.
Is his name Bilal Mohammed?
Yeah, Bilal Mohammed. Yeah.
I remember watching it, and I don't keep meaning to bring it back to me, but like, I've had a fucking broken orbital, like my eye's been done in, like it ate, but you try and get on.
Well, that's it. You said it was like fucking mushy.
Like, it was horrible. But then he got poked in the eye, and then he sat there, and I remember being with loads of people watching it, or maybe it was on a Zoom, and we was all watching it together, because I'd go into like fans forums and watch the matches with fans, and he was screaming, running around, and I thought, you can see Leon, he's half giving it that, thinking, fuck, he's blinded this lad, it's his career. So, like, you're thinking about the lad's career. 10 minutes later, he's in the back in a suit, talking and all happy, and I'm like, and then giving Leon Edwards shit, and I thought, Leon's had years off and put a pasting on you there. Imagine the pressure that's on that lad's shoulders. Like, I kept seeing him up and down Liverpool a couple of weeks ago.
Who? Leon,
yeah.
Is he, yeah?
Well, I say weeks ago, before, well, maybe just before, no, just after my fight, maybe like October. And and he was like, they're trying to work on him for still to get this fight. But
do you know what? I actually proper feel dead sorry for Edwards as well, because, like, let's be honest, like, if there's anyone who deserves the title shots, it's him. He's on a 9-fight win streak.
Well, he was about to get. They shouldn't have given it to what's his name? Who had it last and got finished? Oh, he didn't get finished, did he? It was like a proper, like, 44 round fight. What's his name? The white lads who make America great again. Oh yeah,
Kobe Covington.
Yeah. So we thought he should never have got to be a match with Usman, because it just wasn't warranted. But Leon should have definitely had that.
And like again, like so, like Leon's supposed to have he's got a 9-fight win streak. He should have it, but then he has a fight against Diaz. Batters him for 24 minutes,
and then nearly gets done at the end.
But then all you see, Mal, is clips of where Leon's been stunned, and it's like, if you don't watch UFC and you like a little casual who just sees little clips,
he's robbed him. You think,
hang on, he's battered him there, and you're like, he hasn't, because he literally for 24 minutes he's done.
I don't know what he's done today in a way. Do you know, like, you don't know what's happened there, because you just think, like, even if you've pissed Dana White off, you like, a business is a business, so you're still going to get your fights, still this, that and the other, but you will see in the media and who BT, UFC Europe get behind, pardon me, you know who's like liked within the company, I would think, because you think, well, the likes of Arnold Allen is liked in the company, but he just doesn't do enough on here, or like he doesn't, he's
not got exposure.
That's the like, why, what's he done? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's certain people that you think, what have you done to know what's going on here? Do you know what I mean?
Like, at the same, Jack Shaw, I don't really know Jack Shaw's not ranked.
I don't know. I'm managed by the same person as him, and I know, like,
I love Jack.
He's this year will be his year.
Yeah, I know. I think
Like he's like
so
three. I think he's like 4 wins
Yeah.
off a world title. But in his division, you don't want to be fighting top 15 when you're not getting paid for top 15. So do you know what I mean? It's like when everyone's talking about Cerrone fighting Paddy.
Yeah.
It's like, first of all, the fight that's never even been brought to the table.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's only his second fight in his contract. Why would you fight one of the best people in the world ever? For the fight is worth more.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like, it's got to all way up.
So we go back to Edwards. So Edwards' weight, the champion is Kamaru Usman. Yeah, Kamaru had one hell of a year. Arguably fight of the year. His first fight was against, was it Burns? I think his first fight was against Burns.
I was there.
Was you? Yeah.
Yeah. I was cornering Gillian Robertson that same night.
Was you? Yeah.
At the Apex. I'd lost the weekend before and stayed out and cornered her, but then her fight got pulled off because she was sick. And I just remember seeing him, and like both lads, the way that the UFC had made it look like they'd had a bit of beef and all this, and then they's literally like playing basketball out together, like in like the fighter hotel. So that was like sad for Burns because you can see he doesn't cut corners.
Yeah.
But
I thought he done well.
Yeah, but he started well, but you couldn't keep that pace. And the second you hear Trevor Whitman, the jab, Kamaru, the jab, do you know what I mean? And then like the length of the arms on him, like if he pops that out, it's just setting you up for
Some
everything.
power as well, isn't it?
When he lets that, he cracks that back and like a whip. It's just like.
Well, talking about that cracking like a whip, Masvidal, go to sleep.
It was heavy that way, innit, lad?
It was, yeah.
That was heavy.
Like I don't, as I say, people are saying it's knockout of the year. I think Sandhagen's is knockout of the year, but you can see why people, because it's one shot and he's gone, boom, gone to sleep. Like
100%, yeah. I think it was slight because I remember being on Fight Island, going for a run. Because I was like fighting on a Wednesday, so the Saturday, I remember he fought on 5 days' notice.
Yeah.
So me, Ellis and Nathan Fletcher have all gone for a run, come back ready for the main card and watched Rose Namajunas fight and blah, blah, blah. And then it's got to there. And then I thought, he was like game bred, he fucking is, do you know what I mean? Like he just came out, whoom.
Sweet Jesus.
And he just absolutely had to go. And then I just think it was just a shame that the second fight didn't amount up to the same. Like you thought, right, he's had a full camp, he'll have it, but maybe because his defensive wrestling against the cage was so good. Masvidal's in the first fight, and then in the second, it stayed in the open a bit, and like I don't think Kamaru's there yet where he's like the greatest of all time. Just because I just think GSP is. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like he just is, but he's exceptional, and he will be up there maybe if he keeps on carrying on this. Do
you know what, Mol? Like I personally, I can see him getting beat this year.
Who do you reckon will beat him?
I don't know. Like I don't want to agree with Gustafsson, but I think Chimaev has got the skill set to beat him.
Fucking hell, yeah.
Because do you know what, Mol? Like when I watch it, like I think he gets hit a lot, Usman, like, and he did get Kobe Covington. You watch against Burns, he gets dropped a couple of times, gets dropped a couple of times against Kobe Covington. So I think he actually has got the ability to be beat. There's holes in the game, and you just need someone who can do that. I think Chimaev's skill set is if it's not on level with him, it's just below him. Yeah, so we might need just a few more. Yeah, and also, but Chimaev's always game. Like look at him, like he was. I can't believe how many people we're talking about who have shared like rooms with, do you know what I mean? Yeah. But I remember flying to Abu Dhabi on the plane. John what's his name? John Phillips has got a phone call, right, your opponent's changed. You got some lads in Sweden, Chimaev. And I remember I was warming up, John's gone, I'll come back in, and he's just like that. And I was like, fuck, he's got wrestle fuck there, didn't he? And then he just went, he's like the king of Fight Island, isn't he? Yeah, Chimaev, like any place, anywhere, anytime, he personifies that. Like I say, like he went up, he had a fight and then went up a weight, and that was in like 14 days difference. Like that to me, game anytime, any place, anywhere, and as he says, kill everybody. You know what I mean?
no one wants to fight him, do they? So
no one wants to fight him, and I can see why. Like look what he done with the leech. He literally grabbed him, picked him up, took him over there, and went, "This is your boy." Boom. Yeah, and smashed him. Like I think he is the future of the UFC, especially with his weight. Like I think him and Usman would be a very, very, very good fight. Like,
did you hear how we was trying to say Paddy Pimblett?
Yeah, no, that was
Pimblett, blue, blue. I was all laughing in the gym.
Have you noticed everyone's calling Scousers saucers now?
Saucers, yeah. I was just like, oh my! Angela Hill. I remember messaging her going, "Fucking pack it in, Scousers." Yeah. Famous line, Scousers don't get knocked out, and a few of them have been like, but yeah, and
we had a very good fight. Reyes versus Jiri. Is it?
Can I see this one? Because all the names, what they look like, and I remember the fight.
So it's the guy with the looks like a samurai. He's got a mad haircut, the one with the spinning elbow.
Oh my God, yeah, and he, like, in his pony, he's got all, like, fucking fabric.
Yeah.
What did he go like 4-3-5 win streak last year?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, he's heavy, yeah. No, that's Reyes.
Reyes versus...
oh, yeah, no, but was it Dominic Reyes versus him?
Jiri, yeah. So it's J-R... J-I...
Yeah, he's a belt. He's actually a belt. Dominic Reyes, but one of the most amazing humans. His family, I think I've seen him fight about 5 times live.
That's it there, then right.
Can you see the elbow up on the left, is it? Oh.
Yeah, there's the elbow there, top left.
Boom.
Look at that.
See you later.
And you know yourself, Mo, them spinning.
What did you say? You know yourself?
No, you know yourself, Mo.
You don't. Like, you've not been hit by one of them.
No, but them spinning things, you can break your arm, Molly, if you don't do them right. Like,
you jar your elbow, right? So your funny bone, if you miss it, boom. Yeah.
That's what I mean. Just chip your elbow. I say, I think the kid who Reyes fought there, when Reyes, like, he's probably one of the only people you could say arguably beat John Jones. Like,
actually, him, Gustafsson and Santos actually beat John Jones and just got robbed on the scorecard. Yeah. And DC may have even had a draw once, to know what I mean. But, yeah, definitely.
But I gotta say, he proper gave it to John Jones, and that kid there, he's a fighter to watch as well.
I'm not sure if they said he'll be close for a world title. Definitely him, because what was Reyes, like, ranked 5th or something?
I think he was even higher.
Was it?
Yeah, I think he was even higher, Mo, yeah. So he'll be ready for the title shot as well. And we also had, is it Giri, the Georgian? The Georgian, yeah. He's fighting this weekend, isn't he?
Yeah, so is he fighting Calvin Kattar?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. That would be a good fight.
Sorry, I haven't looked at the card. I looked at a quick mull over before, because I thought it was next weekend, but that's Garn's
next weekend, and then this weekend it's it's just like
Calvin. Calvin will have to see if he can put to bed, what's the word, the demons, because there's a difference between losing a fight when you maybe haven't give everything to training, do you know what I mean? Or there's a difference between, if you like Yair Rodriguez, absolutely come from shit circumstances, give the performance of your life and just lose out, and you can accept them. But coming back when you've been like put to sleep, knocked out, or being beat up like that, mentally is so tough, because when you put in them situations again in the cage or the octagon, you see some people like Ronda Rousey got put in that same position, couldn't do it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? McGregor's been put in that same position twice, can't do it. Like, can people overcome that hurdle? Because you go every day into the gym or into training, and you just, like, that doubt is there. Am I good enough anymore? Yeah. And it's...
Once you get over that, though, that's
if you can.
A big hill as well.
Yeah, my last fight, fucking nothing was going to stop me, not even a sledgehammer to the face. Yeah. But then the fight before... Like, I got caught wanting, like, I wanted it with everything in me, but just something, you just don't get it every time, do you know what I mean? So, if you can put that away, lad, then... well, he needs to, because he needs a good run at the title again, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Shit.
Yeah, so, I'd like to talk about a couple little fighters, Mo. I think I think Cyril Gahn has had one hell of a year. And I think we've got the return of the King, Jose Aldo. I think Jose Aldo's back to his best, Mo. He's ranked 4th, and I think coming into 2022, I think he's up for the
Who beat him a couple of...
Because I think he's on a 3-win.
Yeah, did he? He lost on Fight Island last year, didn't he?
Did he? Yeah.
Or it was the year before. And do you remember his head was getting punched? It was Peter Yan beat him, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, he was. Yeah.
And then from that loss, he just came back something special, didn't he? And I think he's got the true mindset of an absolute warrior and a champion where he always overcomes his adversity, always.
Yeah.
And he is a humble man, and I think he's a really nice man.
Yeah.
And I remember watching he versed Holloway. Yeah. I watched that live in Detroit, and I just remember watching them in the warm-up rooms thinking, Henry Cejudo was in there, Justin Gaethje, Ngannou, and Jose Aldo, and Raquel Pennington and Tisha Torres, and I was in there with a fighter called Amanda Bobby Cooper and Alistair Overeem.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my fuck. UFC 218 Detroit, I was just like, holy shit. I was in the corner for one of the fights, and I remember it was before I was in the UFC walking out thinking, fucking hell.
Yeah,
but that card was legendary.
Yeah.
Do you remember on Wikipedia, Ngannou knocked Alistair Overeem out that bad? It was the uppercut of doom, and then on Wikipedia, it was like the 8th of December 2017. It was like Alistair Overeem died, like on Wikipedia that day. He was dead.
Yeah, so a really good fighter that I've noticed this year was
that good.
Yeah,
he was that good.
Do you know what? No, he's actually sick. Yeah, it's his name's the Australian kid. The big one, the one who drinks out of the finger. What's his name?
Oh,
I've got dyslexia. Yeah, so when I'm looking,
I can't say his name.
Like that,
have you wrote it down?
Yeah, Tiavia or something like that.
Which one is he?
That one.
Oh, Tai Tuivasa.
Tai Tuivasa, yeah.
Right, I can't say, but I remember when he fought on Fight Island. He, I think he won. So he went on like a 3-fight loss streak, and then he come back and won on Fight Island. I think he got knocked out tonight, and he was bladdered. And I remember he put a video on his Instagram. He pissed the bed. I'm not sure if you can get this video, but I'm right. Tai Tuivasa. But honest to God, he woke up. He's like, I fucking pissed the bed, mate.
He's a legend.
He's shouting, I fucking won and I pissed the bed.
Do you know what he reminds me of? It's like Mark Hunt 2.0. Do you get what I'm saying, Mo? Yeah, I see it like a Mark Hunt because he's a master of the one punch knockout. And do you know what I'd like to see this year? I'd like to see him versus Tom Aspinall.
That would be like easy pickings for Tom.
Yeah,
I remember saying when he had Arlovsky, I was like, piece of piss for him, blah, blah, blah. And everyone was like, no. And I was like, yeah. And I just think he's the best thing. He's the closest thing and to us winning a belt the quickest.
Yeah.
Well, he'll be the next British champion after, what's his name, Bisbee was.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I just see...
He reminds me a lot. Do you know what
he reminds? Is he top 10 now?
Yeah.
Yeah, he made the top 10, didn't he? Yeah, so
I think he's like 7th or something like that.
What's that? Two more?
Yeah, 2 more. Do you know what he reminds you of, Mo? Reminds me a lot of Brock Lesnar, but 10 times more technical. Do you know what I mean? He's got the power of Brock Lesnar, but he's 10 times better than him. Like with the jiu-jitsu's amazing as well, isn't it, Mo?
Yeah, black belt.
Yeah, black belt.
He could have been a what's it called? Pro boxer. I was training with the it just gets said all the time, isn't it? Was training with Thingy Fury. Tyson Fury, yeah. He's mates with John,
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have seen it, but before Tyson Fury's third fight with Wilder, me, Paddy and Tom Aspinall went on a big red double-decker bus with John Fury and Steve Bunce.
Yeah.
And it was just all about how we used to train with him and stuff, and he's just a really humble guy. And in September, he wasn't in the sauna, sorry, it was me, Darren, Grundy, but Tom's dad was in there.
Yeah.
And he was just talking to us, and they're just really lovely people, and he's got a family to support, and he just does well. He keeps his head down. He's not arrogant. He's not ego.
That's what he seems. Tom
he's
seems,
just a decent human. Do you know what I mean? Just a really lovely guy. And I always say he reminds me of Captain Hook, just because he's got like this little, like it's a mad little goatee thing going on. Do you know what I mean? I was like, you're like, well, I actually say Captain Hook, but no one understands.
He's got a bit of that.
So I say Hook now. Yeah,
he's got that Polish powder as well, and Aspinall. Yeah.
Has he got Polski in him?
Yeah, he's Polish. Yeah,
is he?
Yeah, he's half Polish, Tom. Yeah.
No wonder.
Yeah,
that's where he's getting them big fucking digs. Yeah.
Polish. Yeah, he comes out now with it's like a half Polish and a half English flag.
Does he?
Yeah, and now he's on his Instagram. He's got Poland flags on his Insta.
No wonder he's like gone up to 120k on his stuff. I'm only messing. Now, I hope he gets all the success in the world.
Yeah, I do. All the best, Tom. But then we had the Scousers took over Vegas, Mal, didn't he?
The Scouser and the half fucking Wigan, half Polak, Dave and Tom, yeah. What, not from my side, but from being a Scouser watching it, what was it like for you?
Oh, Mal, do you know what? It was honestly, it was so proud. Like it was like I was so proud to watch it, Mal.
Yeah.
This was even before I even spoke to you or anything, Mal. It was just like I was like proud, like it because it's not every day you get to have like this.
Scousers, there was well 4 from Liverpool.
Got the whole, but you got the whole city talking about him, Mal. Like that's the thing. Like you not always like the whole city's talking about the UFC. Like not all the time, like really people actually even talk about UFC. It's only a select amount of people that, but like when you're fighting,
like you get your casuals or when the big fights are on.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though, more like every time and every like even if it was just you, the whole city's like, yeah, Meatball's fighting, Tilly's fighting, Tilly's fighting, Paddy's fighting. But like obviously Paddy was making his debut and everyone was just like so up for seeing Paddy. What's Paddy gonna do?
Like is he actually good enough? Is he all talk? Yeah. Like
I was not expecting it to go the way it was.
He was just that fucking. He was just that switched on to it. Like we literally had to talk the other day on. I placed my opponents up here, so the fact that I train harder, do more, but like they'll be in my head a little bit sometimes where I'm like, no, I fucking need to do more, just in case, like. Because they still have an ability to beat you, and Paddy's like, and he sat next to me and I'm just total opposite from you. And he was like, I don't know if that's wrong. And I was like, absolutely not, lad. I said, not arrogance in a bad way, but like your arrogance in your own thoughts. It was like when Muhammad Ali said, if you even dream about beat me, fucking wake up. Yeah. That's like Paddy's like on that. Paddy's like, no. And that's like, sometimes you won't get knocked out. Don't get me wrong, like in a fight I never think I'm gonna lose, even if I'm about to get choked out.
You can't go in that mindset.
But like in training I do give my opponents probably more credit than they deserve, but that just comes from losing on the biggest stage 3 times, and also getting the wins back, like fills you with that confidence. But yeah, it's fucking rough, do you know what I mean? Yeah,
because as I say, like I was expecting Paddy to like go in and do his jiu-jitsu.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's exactly
he said to all of us, I'm fucking not. I'm going to go and punch his head. And Rim was like, lad, just get him to the cage. And they had this move, and it was like, I think it was like right uppercut, left hook, jumping knee, push him to the cage, look for a double or a single, take his back. So
they had finish after taking down, didn't he?
Yeah, so they had all of this, and then he just like meatballed him. He just stood there and like just like let these fucking hooks go. And or you could see how fucking, just to have that debut, I was literally stood, like my hand was broke, I think, like I had these fucking rosary beads around my neck and I was just screaming, and you just see Rimmer, Adam, Ellis, me, and poor Rimmer went, I love it how we just, when we was in the back getting our picture together and I was having a bevy, obviously, he's going, I just love how the fact we go to shows and we just take over. And I was like, you go from things like FCC and all these like local shows and Cage Warriors Academy and Shinobi, and then we got to like the big Cage Warriors fucking, go on, we'll sell out the Echo or we'll do whatever. And then we went to the UFC, and then that day we just woke up and everything felt like it was literally here. Yeah. And I'm not sure if I told you that last time I was on, but we just woke up and we just looked at each other and I was like, we don't shake up the world, lad. Yeah. Granted, he fucking
did.
he didn't even let too much emotion out in terms, like, he didn't cry. He was just like, yeah, I told you, yeah. Like, just...
How'd you like me now?
Yeah, how'd you like me now? Yeah, so, all credit be to Patrick Pimbley.
Yeah. But also on that card, well, like, we had a moment which is still getting talked about now. And I just want to see what your opinion is. So we had the first ever oblique kick finish.
Oh, fuck yeah, what was his
Roundtree.
name? Modestus Bukowskis.
Yeah, he changed out in London, didn't he?
Yeah, so he was a cage. So it was mad. It was like me, Paddy, Jack Shaw, and Badescus.
Yeah.
So 4 Cage Warriors, former world champions. Yeah. Tom had been on Cage Warriors as well. So there's 5 Cage Warriors alumni on there. And I just remember him take that kick, and I thought, I throw that kick all the fucking time. Yeah. As like a rangefinder, because I'm that small, I have to really extend my whole body to find that kick in range.
I'll do it to me, mate. When we're having a little mess around, I'll just do it.
Yeah. And oh, my lips bleeding. What's it called? That was Moody. He got cut after that, you know. And I think his first 2 fights he won by knockout. Yeah. He lost on Fight Island, and then because I think he fell through the fence or something, fell through the cage. But then that it was a bit sly that I think he got cut off that. But
would you think the kick should be banned more? I don't think
it should be banned. Like, we're not allowed really to throw in training.
Yeah.
Just in case you're injured, like you wouldn't do like a scissor sweep, or you don't throw heel hooks on in case you injure your partner. And you've got to. Some people you train with have to go to work the next day.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like longevity in it. But no, I think it should stay. Like, I think that, like, I wouldn't mind a 12-6 elbow.
Yeah.
Like a Thai one just goes straight for the nose.
It's so stupid why that 12-6 got banned, because of like the way that the martial arts videos used to do with Jimmy the Bricks, and you have to have a master doing that.
And they was like, you break someone's back. So, well, no one's ever had the back broke or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, I'm aware, like, soccer kicks to the head for the public watching and trying to turn it into like an elite level sport. And when I explain to like proper right wing Tories like what I do, I have to say, like, imagine one Olympic discipline.
Yeah.
How hard that person has to fight and train and dedicate their life. Now do 6 or 5 if there's only 5. That's my job. So don't fucking come to me and say that it's like gory, this, that, and the other. Well, I get it is, but it's fucking discipline and it's hard work, and it's not just getting in there to fight. So I think they took the soccer kicks out like that because to a broader audience, you couldn't have the crossover, and you needed that
people
to have.
Soccer kicks though, weren't they? You know what I mean? People used to go all this finger and stamp. It's bad.
But I just don't see what
Japan in it.
Yeah, I don't see what the difference is in the side. Like, the oblique kick's heavy because it's career ending. So maybe if we're going down that route, so you don't want to end people's careers, all right, but people are getting like, you can break your hands on someone's head and get a career end and snap of your metacarpal, do you know what I mean? So it's just one of them.
And then just 2 more things to touch on in the UFC, Mo. My fight of the year is T-City versus Volkanovski.
Yeah.
What a fight. Like, for Volkanovski, I don't know if it
was it how many that choke?
4, I think.
Was it?
I think he got him 4 times. He had them in the he had them on the ground.
Guillotine. That's his move, isn't it?
That's it. That is. This is what I'm saying. Like, if you've got a black belt, it was his signature, and I'm sure the person who gave him a black belt is he's literally only give a handful of black belts.
He's a Gracie. He's a proper Gracie. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
So like it's a handful of finger, and as I say, I've come dressed a little bit like T-City today. You know what I mean?
And he's got your hair now, hasn't he? But he got done by Holloway.
Yeah.
So this was his big comeback, and he absolutely gave it.
Did you?
Absolutely gave it. Like, proud of that performance. Yeah. But when you just think of, I don't even want to say the name, but Hard See You Next Tuesday, that is him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I would always call. I remember. No.
Volkanovski.
Yeah, I kept calling Volkanovski Arlovski in an interview. I was like, for fuck's sake, sorry, Volkanovski. Some absolute little, like, you're all right, mate. And I love watching his Instagram.
Rugby, didn't he?
No, that's what I mean. Yeah. He comes from rugby. He was like 205 kilo, fights at 66 kilo now.
Yeah.
And you're onto his Insta, he goes like, cooking with Andrei Arlovski. And he's just like, Volkanovski, see, it's fucking already in
but
my
he's
head
like,
there.
he just reminds me of like a proper little angry dwarf, doesn't he? You know what I mean? Like,
It's me on a weight cut, lad. It's me on a weight cut.
He's just like a little angry, like he looks like someone off Lord of the Rings, mate. He's sick.
What are they called, an orc?
Don't take no offence if you ever
Oh no,
watch
you
it,
can't say
know
that,
what I mean?
because where is he? Is he New Zealand or Australia?
Australia.
It's pure base there, lads. You can't say that. And it was in New Zealand.
He was
really.
actually, he was based in New Zealand, yeah.
I absolutely loved The Hobbit. I love all of that shit.
Great, isn't it?
Love it. Live for the sci-fi, lads, yeah.
And then the last, well, if you want to bring anything up more, but
my fight of the year would be, I think it was Rose and Whaley, number 2.
Number 2, what a fight.
Unreal. The first one was the head kick, now was that the second one?
First kick.
So that's like, everyone had wrote Rose off. And she beat her Andrade, hadn't she, on Fight Island, and then this was the first one back where it was, pardon me, for the belt again. And I feel like Rose is like my hero, and I try and I don't base myself on her, but for how spiritual she is and how I feel like I'm the same. If I'm there here, you're getting fucking destroyed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I feel like the older you get, the more there you are.
Yeah.
But if it's an off day, it's going to be like, oh, that was a close one, that Mal, do you know what I mean? And she can be the same, but when she is on, she's literally like, she weighs 122 pounds all year round and fights at 115, and she finishes people cold, like cold, puts them to sleep, do you know what I mean? And I just think she just cement, like, Whaley went and trained with like Henry Cejudo, like gold medal at the games, and like absolutely fucking just stopped that game plan. And I know it was a close fight, it was like, which always makes it better. Do you know what I mean? But I just thought she's just solidified the fact that when she's beat Carla Esparza in the next fight, she is the best 115 of all time.
As she said, like, she was going, I'm the best. Like, that's
you see, she goes, I'm the best, and she does this, doesn't she?
And then that's the best. That's what I like about when Joe Rogan says, "What were you saying?"
The Lord's Prayer.
And she says,
when Joanna's in the face like that.
Well, like it was like at the end of, when she beat when she won the second fight, Joe says, and she cries and she goes, "I am the best."
In the cage,
and like it's great because like she's had her stories,
shit life, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's had a fucking shit life, and it's fucking hard. And she's my sister's like little idol. My sister proper loves her, you know what I mean? Well, and like it's good to have someone like a role model like that, like yourself, Molly. Like, you're a massive role model, like, and I'll show you in a minute. Like, I've had that many messages about Molly. I've had quite a few messages, so like I'll show you after this, Molly. But then another little thing, we had a massive upset, Molly. Nunes
and Juliana Pena.
Yeah.
Well, if you go back to 2013, you had Tough 23, and it was Miesha Tate and Ronda Rousey as the head coaches, and you had Juliana Pena was an ex-wrestling partner of Miesha Tate, and Shayna Baszler was the most well-known women's MMA fighter not to have been signed by the UFC, being round. Bit of a chip on her shoulder because she hadn't got what she deserved, and she was on the show and she's been a cocky little rat, and Ronda was like, yes, one of my 4 horsewomen and all that, and Juliana went out and just said, like, I'm gonna go and fuck her everywhere. So Ronda basically picked her number 1 seed, which was Shayna Baszler, to fight Juliana, who was like the last pick on Misha's team, but no, it was Misha's buddy, and Juliana done the same thing to Shayna Baszler, and I knew, and I was speaking to someone, and mates always ring me doing accumulators, betting on the fights, going, who do you think's going to win? Because I always put my predictions online anyway, and I said, I just think Juliana has a style that's a tiny bit like Dustin Poirier, where the shot doesn't, it's not how you've been taught to throw a shot. So the timing and the defense and the counter is different because it doesn't take the same amount of time. You'd cover and you'd be too slow and it's already hit you, or you'd be too fast and then you come back and then it's hit you. And it's kind of, that's what she done. And the best thing about her is she respects her opponent, but she doesn't. Like, the second it's in there, she's like, this is my fucking house. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not taking anything away from it in terms of she executed her game plan perfectly. When you've seen her and her coach Rick Little on the Embedded, and pardon me, on the Countdown episode, they're just drilling, and he's saying, right, it's going to be ugly, she's going to throw this, you need to tap this down, come over the top, and everything was there. Do you know what I mean? But Amanda did say she took the loss quite well, and then she said, look, I've got to go and deal with my shit, and then when I'm back it'll be totally different. So you kind of think she was going in there with maybe a bit of an injury, maybe something was going on outside, but again, I'm not taking away the biggest upset. It was like when Matt Serra beat GSP, like that, or like, I know this isn't probably the same, but when Bisbee done Luke Rockhold on 2 weeks notice, it's like that. What?
Even like Glover, when Glover.
Oh my God, beat Polish power. Polish power.
But like, do you reckon Shevchenko and Nunes will end up having a third?
No. I think they've both put that one to bed. I think they both have. However, I've seen a lot about a crossover fight for Shevchenko in boxing.
Do you reckon?
I'm not sure if it was against Serrano or something like that.
I don't really. Do you reckon she'd do well? I don't know, because I see her more of a kicker. You know what I mean?
So she's just pure mixed martial arts, right? She just is through and through, and she probably would learn to out wrestle an Olympic wrestler because she's just that good. But the way she counters with kicks, then punches, so she doesn't naturally counter with just hands, because it'd be hands then kick. So I think she might be a bit slow with boxing, but then I think like she just would probably grapple them and make the fight like boxers, like a clean boxing fight. And if you watch boxing now, no one clinches, and it's not the good old days where Ricky Hatton would get in, rough you up, bounce you off, and go work the body and that. It's like everyone likes to keep long shots, no one likes mixing it up.
Yeah, textbook, and it's gone a bit boring to be fair.
Yeah, so I think she will probably incorporate. Not enough people teach win by any means necessary in terms of styles. It's normally like, well, just this combo will work, but you might have to mix it up a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because one last question about the MMA. Right, I forgot to ask you this. I meant to ask you this on the last pod. Right, we had our first transgender MMA fighter, Mol. So a man who turned into a female. Turned into a female.
Recently again, because I know like
it was a couple of months ago, Mol.
Well, in America they had a woman called Fallon Fox, and I'm not sure, it definitely weren't Bellator. I think it might have been something like Legacy, but forgive me if I get it wrong. They had a tournament, right, and it was 8 bantamweights, and she knocked the first girl out, completely shattered the face. Second girl she fought was a girl called Ashley Evans-Smith. Ashley Evans-Smith beat Fallon Fox and then got signed to the UFC off the back of it. And I only know this because I was supposed to fight Ashley, and the fight got cancelled because of the COVID. Because UFC London got cancelled, so I done loads of research, and I was just like, what the fuck's that about? And when speaking with Ashley and seeing her interviews, she just basically said like, I'm game to fight anyone when I'm in there. So I just don't think it's fair.
I don't think it should be allowed.
Like, there's the argument against where if a little boy before puberty and before he started puberty takes these anti-hormone suppressants and does the full crossover, and forgive me if I get the terminology wrong because I don't want to offend anyone, but I think like that's the way in which that would kind of be okay. And
I completely agree with that, Mo.
And I remember doing like we was talking about my personal podcast, I reached out to someone in America, and they were a male who's transitioned to be a female under like the age of 13, and they wrestle in high school, and they still have to wrestle boys. And they're not allowed to wrestle girls. And they beat the boys still, do you know what I mean? Even as a girl, but it's just, there's a fine line with because the boys then get pissed off that they're fighting a girl because they don't want to look like they're beating a girl up, and there's just loads of different lines.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you a little opinion on it, Mo, because I've got to ask you last podcast, and I thought that was like a bit of like a controversial news that came out last year.
Well, for me, I'm not the person who's often to have that fight with themselves every day and make the transition. However, I just don't think you should, if you've transitioned, I don't want this to sound really bad because I'm an ally, but there can't be an advantage there. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I'd say on it. Like, you could have if the transition was done correctly and like the bones weren't dense or the patient weren't stronger or something like that, then I think, okay, there could be an argument for discussion there. But I just think if one's more matured or like just naturally stronger from all the testosterone, I just don't think it's fair. I've fought women who have been popped for steroids before and after our fight, and I can feel the difference in them.
Yeah.
You've only got to look at me fighting one person in the UFC, and when I got like ragdolled around a little bit, and you can 100% see that, and then they got popped for steroids. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like, I know what that feels like, and it's not fair. Yeah. So that's it, yeah.
So Mo, we went to talk about the boxing, but we don't think we've got enough time. So we'll just talk about the Cyril Gane, Francis card. Francis, we'll start with Francis versus Gane, makes it easier. What do you reckon is going to happen, Mo?
Two former sparring partners, two lads from the same gym.
Yeah.
Not at the same gym.
Bit of formally.
Formally. One may have crossed over to America because they didn't think, because they thought the grass was green, and maybe it wasn't.
Yeah.
Genuinely think, I think Ngannou, after his last fight when he showed his defence against the wrestling and stuff, I think he probably might edge it. But I don't. One of them, I think it will be a finish.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Gane's been, if
Tested.
Cyril's been, has he been knocked? I don't know if he's ever been knocked out.
No,
so
he's trying to be 10-0, isn't he?
10-0, yeah. So it'll be good to see him in tough waters.
Yeah.
And I would have loved to be a fly on the wall and watch the spars between them. Would have been good.
Well, that's it. The trainer's saying like that Cyril drop Gane in training or stuff like that. Yeah, he's dropped him with a knee. Knees to the body, but like this, I mean, it's a good old rivalry in between the gym, like old gym partners and stuff like that, and sparring partners. But like I personally, before I watched the Ariel Helwani interview that Cyril Gane done a couple of days ago, I was gone. I thought Gane's skill set he's too quick. He's got the speed. He's got the skill set to beat him. And then I watched it, and do you know what, Mo? I didn't think he was too confident. It looked his body language.
I'm going to tell you something. By a fighter's walkout, you normally can tell if they've got it in them or not. I've felt it myself personally walking out. I know, fuck, this is going to be a long night, or I'm going to fucking destroy it. Yeah. And there's levels of pressure as a fighter which you feel like fighting on a lesser promotion and fighting in the UFC. Fucking night and day for nerves, right? It's literally like running around Wavertree fucking pit, what's it called, athletics track, or running an Olympic final. Like that's the night and day kind of like pressure that you're dealing with. And then you have the UFC pressure and fighting for a world title. Yeah. And then you have the UFC pressure retaining your world title and fighting for your first title. Yeah. So Ngannou's kind of been around the block and been in there a little bit longer. Cyril still hasn't tasted defeat, so he knows how to overcome the adversity when he's in there. Yeah. Where we've seen Francis go running and be questioned and question himself whilst being in there. Yeah. However, I feel like Ngannou and Francis is in his prime now, and he's at extreme couture. They know how to handle him. He's good to go, and I just think, I don't know, I think it's his night. Yeah, and then there's one more fight I'd like to talk about before we wrap it up. Brandon Moreno versus Figueroa. Figueroa. Yeah, I think Brandon wins again. Yeah. Got a good story for Brandon. He got cut from the UFC and stuff like that, and come back, and he said, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not the next day, but I will be champion. Yeah. And he's champion. And he's like first Mexican. Yeah, and I watched quite a lot of him because I thought Rodriguez would be the first one.
Yeah.
Champion to be from Mexico, and I've seen him train in the PI, and I've just seen the way, and he leads the sessions. So they used to train in a garage, and now they're allowed like a little group of them train together, and they've got a flyweight girl out there actually as well. I was like eyeing her up thinking, can I spar her? But yeah, he's just like a bubbly character, unreal fighter, heart. And when you watch the flyweights, it's literally like bum 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 bum. It's like flies just going. Zzz, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the stamina. You might not always see like a knockout finish, but you know that the fights are going to be like brilliant. Do you know what I mean? So I'll put my money on Brandon for that one.
Yeah. Samuel, let's may as well wrap up now.
Go on then, lads. Thanks for letting me on.
I'd like to thank my sponsors, Powers of 10 Attire and Wellness Labs CBD. Thank you very much and peace.